Hey folks, it's me Chris, and I wanted to take a few seconds of your time to talk about this awesome new opportunity that we've been presented with for all of our lovely listeners. We can now offer you all a 1-month free trial from audible.com, allowing you full access to a vast library of audiobooks to choose from. As I mentioned earlier, the trial is completely free, and all you have to do is visit audibletrial.com/GHS and follow the instructions to sign up for a free membership today. We hope you guys enjoy Audible just as much as we do, and thanks for your time. We're lucky. Man, it's a year and a half away. We're like so fucking lucky, dude, because if it was Lucas running things, it would be easily 3 years away. And we'd be like, ugh, we'd be kicking ourselves. But, dude, excellent, like, kind of analysis of the scene. I completely agree. I thought it was excellent, like, moment between, like, Luke and Rey, and whatever their character development is going to be in the next movie. That's a great jumping off point.
Yeah, because I don't think it's going to be like Yoda Luke. It's going to be something else.
Yeah.
There's just something in him when you keep looking at his facial expressions. There's no smile. There's no kind of, like, thing. There's just kind of this relief almost as well.
Yeah.
Like, relief, kind of, like, some satisfaction, something about it. And I think, like, Rey, like, obviously, let's go back to the actual main characters as well, like Rey, Finn, and Poe, especially John Boyega, and something, I can't remember her name, because her name is always on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, Daisy Ridley?
Daisy Ridley, yeah. Both of them were just, like,
they were
fab job.
Awesome, dude.
Especially Daisy Ridley. Like, she's very much answered to critics. I think that it's not the fact that Star Wars needs another heroine, or needs a female character there. It's just the fact that she's just answered critics and really taken her own in probably one of the biggest films of almost the last decade. I think we say that a million times, but it is one of the biggest films of the last decade. And she really, really held herself. Great acting, great delivery. She just bounced off every other character so well. Fantastic. Really, really big highlight for her.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I agree, man. She was the probably my favorite character of the movie. She was awesome, dude. She continues the tradition of, like the Anakin in episode 1 character, the Luke in episode 4 character. But what's awesome is, unlike Anakin, who was like, a child and I don't know, I didn't really have a connection with him, or Luke, who was kind of like a bit whiny in the first movie, but at the same time you kind of like felt him, like you understood his struggles and shit. Rey, I really just not identified with, because I have similar problems. Like, I know where my family is, but like you just you really connect with her. You kind of like you understand her problem. You see her kind of like disdainment of it, and you feel so sorry for her. And but she's such a strong character as well. And Daisy was able to bring like so many layers to Rey that it's like striking. And this is her first like big budget feature film that this actor has ever done, and she did such a fucking great job of it. To take it as you would any other character, and the same thing with Finn. I have to say, Finn was great. I love his arc in the movie. He's running away the entire time, and at the end of the movie he fucking stops, dude, and
stands his ground.
Yeah, and that was such a chilling moment, man.
He gets his ass handed to him, but he does stand his ground, though. It's kind of like a really good moment.
Yeah, no, he gets. Yeah, I mean, Kylo Ren knows like the Force and shit, and Finn clearly was trained to use a melee weapon, but he's not Force sensitive, so like But man, that whole moment, by the way, they just shined so much when like Rey gets the saber and the fucking the Force theme starts playing, and you're just like, oh my god, it was such a great moment.
Yeah, that particular fight was very, very well thought out. Really, again, it was executed so well. I really enjoyed that fight, especially when like Kylo Ren's screaming, and it's like, "That's my that lightsaber belongs to me." He's like, "Come and get it!" He just like runs up to it. Like, it is a really good fight. And obviously, as you said, Finn is never going to win. Like, he's not training that way. But like, it's good that Rey comes in.
Yeah,
and she shows like she has the Force in it. Like, I just love the fact when she realizes that she has like some connection with the Force, and she tricks that Stormtrooper into opening the door.
Yeah, which
keeps saying to him, so like, she's just connected to the Force. She has to, keep repeating it just to kind of like, it's that difficult struggle to get it. Like, rather than just saying, "Oh yeah, she's got the Force," and blah blah.
Which, by the way, Do you know who that stormtrooper was? That's actually Daniel
Oh,
Craig.
it's Daniel Craig. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
someone say that to me.
it was
Uh,
awesome that he can. It was revealed later on that yeah he cameoed in the film, and I'm like, what an awesome. Like I love that that's James Bond. Like he's
that's James Bond.
Ray takes on James Bond. That's awesome. Um, but
In the, he's definitely on His Majesty's Secret Service on the best on stars on that planet.
on his Snoke's Secret Service. Um, what's it? But yeah, the newer characters were Poe Dameron is another character that he's one of the new main characters. It's funny because Poe was not originally supposed to survive the opening of the movie. I read.
Yeah,
And it was changed in a later draft that yeah he did survive and he went on to go on. I really like Poe a lot. I feel like and I think we discussed this off podcast before that. I think like the reason why he wasn't in the first movie so much was because
Harrison.
Han was in it, and Han's already
He,
kind of like that badass scoundrel type character, and Poe you could tell is like he has that like kind of like like not bad side to him, but like he could be smart if he wants to, like a smart ass kind of.
those those three characters are a mirror image of the three characters in the original trilogy.
Yeah, definitely,
And
definitely.
they take up the time of that. Like obviously, not saying that John Boyega's black and like Mark Hamill's white, not in that sense. More in the sense of like, like as Finn is like he's running from like feared, like he's fearful of like things. He's running away from it, just as Luke is.
Hmm.
Like he want to accept something. Like he just wants to get away from it. Same with like they all have traits from that. Pretty much that is Harrison Ford. For that reason, is kind of like putting Poe to the side screen. But I think Poe will play more central because Harrison is gone in the next movie.
Yeah,
I think that's the best part about it. But like, just like they were all great characters. I mean, quickly switching from these characters to Snoke and Ren, should we say
right.
first?
Yeah, sure.
Great characters. Really like them. They really grew on me more, especially Ren, because Ren's just like there's something so menacing about him, like the fact that like, when he's in the beginning scene, he just stops that bullet and it's just floating in midair.
Yeah, they quickly established this guy's badass.
Yeah, and I just like how his anger is more inflicted on different things. Like he uses his lightsaber because of the anger. It's not like Darth Vader was destroying everything with the Force.
Right.
Ren uses his lightsaber. And it's kind of like there's just something about it that's so cool. The mask thing coming off was interesting because I didn't think they were going to show his face for some reasons, but obviously there must be reasons for it. But overall, I really liked him being in the actual film. I think like he was really a great character to put in there. I think they worked him well. I think Snoke is a very interesting character, very mysterious figure, and for the time he was in the film, that was reasonable. He's like Palpatine, like he doesn't really need to be in that much.
Yeah, he Finn or I'm sorry, Kylo Ren. Going back to him really quickly, I agree. I thought he was really great. It's interesting. A lot of people are saying he's kind of like a little bitch, and like people are jokingly calling him, like I've seen jokes online like Darth Millennial and stuff like that. And I think they're funny because he feels entitled and all that shit. I think it's really funny, but seriously, like I think Kylo was a really interesting character that we are gonna get to know so much better now after his reveal in the first movie and the second movie. I mean, first of all, his look is just so fucking cool. Like it's like a combination of like the Emperor and Vader, with the hood and like the mask and stuff. And I really loved his vocal performance. I thought Adam Driver did such a great job, with his movements and like what he had to do that you don't see his face for like 99% of the movie. So like he had to really emote using his body, similar to what David Prowse did with Vader in the original trilogy. But he was kind of like the best of everything. He was able to deliver lines so well, just like James Earl Jones did in the original trilogy. He was able to do the body language just like David Prowse, and once he took off the mask, he was able to emote and do all those emotions a lot like any other actor could have done. So he really like was, I think, one of the best in the top like 3 best actors of the film. I mean, he did a great job, and I mean that scene at the end with Han Solo and the confrontation, and oh man, that was just so well done. Like it's like what he's emoting about, and what Han think. Like, it's just so sad because he's basically saying like, I fucking want to kill you, but I'm having, doubts about it and blah blah blah. He's like, can you help me? And then like, Han thinks, oh, he's gonna turn him back, and oh man, it was such a well done scene. It's very chilling. And plus, the fight really, he did the fighting really well. Kylo, I think, is a great character. I can't wait to see him. I'm so glad he didn't die in this movie, like Darth Maul or something like that. Like, I'm glad that he's gonna probably be the main villain for the new trilogy, just like Vader was. Snoke, dude, Snoke is a weird character. I like him. I like him a lot. I thought, there's so little that we know of him that we're gonna get to know better across the next two movies. He's clearly, the archetype of like the Emperor and stuff like that, but we know nothing about him. I know there's rumors, people think he might be Darth Plagueis that survived, which I think would be interesting. Apparently, according to someone behind the scenes of Star Wars, I think might have been Andy Serkis, he says he's an entirely new character, so I guess that's not true. But yeah, no,
As was the Arkham Knight, Chris.
Oh, that's
As
true. See, that's true, right? You have to like double think what people say, because that's fucking, yeah, that's true. He could be he could be someone we know.
You just see them getting the Millennium Falcon, it turns into a tank.
Oh God, I would die.
I challenge you to a tank battle. It's like, okay.
The dark side flows in this tank. The one thing that really bothers me though is that he was computer generated, and it's not like, I don't care. I'm not like one of those people that's like everything has to be practical. I did appreciate that JJ made a lot of the things in the movie practical. I thought Maz looked great, by the way. Lupita did an excellent job on her. But I don't know why Snoke had to be computer generated. I felt like you could have gotten Andy Serkis to do it. I mean, he kind of looked like Voldemort a little bit with a fucking huge gash in his face. I mean, how the fuck can't you do that with an actor filming him, And all he does is sit. Like, I mean, it's not that difficult. So I didn't understand
sit as well. No, I think they were going to do that with Andy Serkis. So when he gets attached to a project, it's going to be computer generated for that reason.
Which bums me out a bit, because he's a great actor, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he really looked too scary in my eyes. Like, if I saw him,
like, no, it's Andy Serkis. Like, you wouldn't give a shit.
Like, it'd be like, pass me that lightsaber, I will fucking take him out. No, that didn't really bother me too much. I think they found the right balance between CGI and practical effects and everything else. Yeah. I think that was one of the best strengths of it. One of the things I did love about the film was the fact that it didn't really disregard the prequels, because they didn't even have that conversation about stormtroopers being
clones.
Like, should we revert back to the clones? And it's like, oh, I was like, that was kind of nice, little reference back to the prequels. I was really, really like that. I think, like, for me, some of the things which were weird and kind of mismarketed or mismanaged was the fact that the Knights of the Ren are in this film for 2 seconds.
Oh, right, in that flashback, yeah.
Yeah, which made no sense, because I thought the Knights of the Ren would be surrounding him. Otherwise, it makes sense they might surround him after he's been hurt and stuff. But, like, if there is elite guard, where are they meant to be now? Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, we haven't seen them. You'd expect them just to be somewhere within presence. Because I thought that would kind of be the end of the lightsaber fight, where, before the fissure happens, that, like, they would come in, like, just come out of nowhere because he wants them, well, Snook wants that guy and Ren back. That they'd be summoned and they kind of like jump in the middle of nowhere and just start protecting him. But hey, that's what it is. And then Captain Phasma was a weird one.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It was more in the fact that it wasn't just a normal thing. They hired, what's her name now?
Gwyneth Christie?
Yeah, Gwyneth Christie, like a high prolific actor as her, and they put her in a suit. And they didn't really use it, and it's just like, you paid her like probably a shit ton. And then it makes no sense for her to even be there. Obviously, they're trying to replicate a Boba Fett character.
Yeah.
But for the sense of what she is, she has like 3 lines of dialogue, and then after that, it's just kind of like, I'm just like, why is she even in this film?
Yeah.
It was just, remember when we were covering the news, like, big news for a Game of Thrones actor, up and coming, big name, everything else being Star Wars, and then she's in for 3 minutes, if that.
She, dude, I think she's clearly the Boba Fett of the film. Like, like you mentioned, she's just, like, she looks badass. Like, that's everything, everyone agrees. She looks fucking cool. And, like, any lines of dialogue she had, she did a great job, like, portraying her. But it was really weird, right? She didn't do anything in the movie. Like, she kind of just, like, walked around and said stuff, and then walked around some more, and then like at the end she gets fucking shoved in a trash compactor. Like, what the fuck, man? And I mean, she doesn't die because they already confirmed that she's coming back for episode 8, so Gwyneth Christie's, Captain Phasma is returning. But man, like, why couldn't she be the one that dueled Finn? Remember the traitor guy that's now a meme? Why couldn't that have been Captain Phasma instead? Like, why? Whatever. I mean, so yeah, I agree. That was one thing that really bugged the shit out of me. She like literally was Boba Fett down to like what she did. She's the Force Awakens Boba Fett. Like, just walks around, looks cool, And she did look cool. Like, it's a great, like the cape and oh man, she looks so fucking badass.
Yeah, it was definitely a strange one for what it was. I was kind of thinking with that. I mean, like, with the lightsaber fights were really choreographed well. I just love the fact that John Boyega has a lightsaber. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing with it. It just makes so much sense. It's so great that they actually execute that well. Obviously, the big twists.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go.
I was going to say, actually, with the lightsaber battles, I wouldn't say I was disappointed. I think that the battles, like, they were emotionally on par with how epic the Luke and Vader battle was in Empire and Jedi. How there's so much high emotions, and like, you were really just like, wow, like, these two, like, come on, when he yells traitor, and then like, Finn stands his ground, like that. Yeah. Oh my god, that gave me chills, and just like the emotions that you felt, like you were so rooting for the heroes, but I think it should, like, I mean, I get it. They didn't want to make it like those epic fights like in the prequels and stuff like that. But I found the actual choreography to be a bit boring. I don't know. I guess I need to watch it again and look more closely because I was more emotionally guarded. But I thought it was kind of like boring. I don't know. It didn't really captivate me much. And I hope in the new movie, in the next one, that the fights are a little bit, stronger,
I mean, like, Ben Kenobi versus Darth Vader isn't the most amazing fight.
Oh no, it's terrible. Yeah.
It's great conversation exchange for what they're doing. It's great for that, in what they're doing for that sense. But I think it's playing on that.
Yeah.
Because only one of them is really trained in the Jedi arts, or like this, whatever you want to fucking call it, the Sith arts, or whatever. Like, Ren is the only person there, and he's injured already.
Right.
Like, he's been shot.
Yeah.
And then also he also gets stabbed by what's it called, Finn at one point, like when he hits him with the saber and like his arm or something. So when he goes in for round 2, he is already hurt against Rey, and then Rey has like minimal experience, if we're going to say like she's kind of has, if she was at that Jedi temple beforehand. So in that sense, I think it's meant to be like. I think it's meant. Oh, sorry, we're cutting each. I think it's meant to be intentionally a clumsy fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I buy that. I think, like, again, it's Abrams trying to do like a tribute to A New Hope, like trying to do that Obi-Wan battle, but actually explain why it's like an Obi-Wan battle. Like, in the original movie, it's clear they just didn't have a budget, and it was just an old man and a dude in a fucking suit who could hardly see, so they just like did what the best they could. But in this movie, you had to explain, like, well, Finn doesn't have the Force, and fucking Kylo got shot with, like, did you see what that blaster, the Chewie's blaster did? It like knocked people 5 feet. He got shot in the fucking like side with that. That hurts. And on top of that, he had just killed his dad and shit.
That's the funny part you just brought up. Like, I remember people saying, "Oh, he stopped a bullet at the beginning. Why he didn't do that?" I think it's like he's emotionally attached. He's just killed his dad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, maybe he was kind of like in a moment of like lapse and just like pondering over the thing that he just killed his dad. Like, again, do I have to keep repeating this?
Totally. And didn't Chewie sell that moment, by the way, when he yelled?
Yeah,
that was so gut-wrenching.
That entire moment's good, right? I knew it was coming. As soon as he started walking across that bridge, Harrison Ford, it's just like, and he's going to confront Ben. And even the fact that he's called Ben, Kylo Ren.
Yeah, which was awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that was cool. But like, just with the fact when he goes up to him and then he gives him the lightsaber, I was like, he's going to die, he's going to die, he's going to die, he's going to die. Like, everyone else thinks like he's converted. I'm like, no, he's going to die, he's going to die. When he stabs him, you just see Harrison Ford's face. I was just kind of like, hands on my mouth. I was like, and I knew it was coming, I just couldn't do it. It's like just one of those moments where you can't really embrace yourself for it.
Right.
And I was driving down the road and just hit impact completely, and then he just falls down the hole, and it's just, there's something about it. It's just like, I agree as well. Chewbacca's sell on that. It's just like,
Yeah, he's
to
just it's
see it.
gut. I mean, oh man.
It's not even that more than that. It's more when Leia she feels it in her heart and she sits down.
Oh yeah, it reminded
And
me of in
Ben,
episode 3 when Yoda feels the Jedi dying. It was so well done.
yeah, or like when Ben feels during the planet being destroyed.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Uh,
totally one of those moments where
it,
like,
I think that's the best part about Leia, though. They kept that fact that she is a Jedi in some sense, like the Force belongs to her family, and they
mhm.
keep that theme going through this film. Like she kind of senses it in some people. I think that obviously that's why she obviously senses it in Rey, and she kind of like gives her that hug at the end and stuff like that because it is kind of like almost family if she is Luke's daughter.
Yeah,
Maybe she's not. Like that's again speculation, but it was really really cool watching that entire scene. Like it was absolutely gut wrenching. But I
yeah,
think like the other thing, the great stuff, I think like Luke's arc, even if Luke isn't in the film for that much, is greatly expanded. The fact that he goes and builds his Jedi temple, and
mhm.
it gets torn down by his nephew, practically because he just destroyed. Well, he's like main component for destroying it. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that. But yeah, overall, I was really like, I kind of like was really impressed by it.
Yeah, I have a few just last minute things I want to say
Yeah,
because I kind of feel like we're wrapping this up. Plus, we've talked for like almost an hour now. But I did want to say a few things. I thought BB-8 was fucking delightful. I
agreed.
loved. Yeah, BB-8 was.
We
I
had
never. No, sorry.
we got two of the greatest droids last year. We got BB-8 and Gortus.
Yeah, and dude, I never thought they would be able to make a Star Wars droid that was as lovable as R2D2, and they did. Come
I
on, when he
agree.
gave the thumbs up to Finn.
Yeah, that is that droid was a lot of love and care to put into it, and just kind of building it.
Yeah,
And they really did sell it. 'Cause I thought like, do you want to kind of like shoehorning it in front of people? Like, yeah, it's BB-8's new droid. I was like, right, okay, but like, they did a really really good job with BB-8. There was just some emotional attachment towards it, and like even when Ray kind of looks at BB-8, because like, yeah, I can trade it for something, and it's just like,
yeah,
no, it's not for sale.
yeah. It was just like, agreed, man. They just did such a great job of like having BB-8 be so, like you fucking loved him so much. C-3PO I thought was great too. His opening was so great, and it was so awesome having Anthony Daniels again come back and play. Like he's the only actor now that's in all 7 movies, which is crazy to think. And having him back was just fucking awesome with his new Venom snake arm. What is it? Punish droid or something like.
Punish droid, exactly. I told you, it's got that red arm. We don't know if it's Venom 3PO.
But
The real C3PO is building out at Haven somewhere.
exactly. See,
For
it's not
droids, an army, a safe haven for droids.
so. But that was really great. Seeing him in his intro was so great. How he just kind of like pops in front of Han and Leia and stuff. And also the Falcon, man. What a great opening. They could have. And I think
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned this elsewhere. God, we've mentioned so much little bits and pieces, but like, the way they introduced the Falcon was so great because instead of doing one of those like stupid like, like glory shots of the Falcon, literally you don't even fucking see the ship, and Rey's like, oh, that's a piece of junk, it's garbage. And they go to the other ship explodes, and she's like, well, garbage will do. And then they run over and they pan, and bam, it's
It's
there. And it was such a
it's
great moment, man. Like, oh god.
I forgot to mention this. The comedy's perfect in it. It
Yeah.
captures the 4, 5, and 6 so well.
Yeah.
'Cause it had those slapstick moments and those like kind of like tongue in cheek moments, and this was pure that. Like it was just when they did it, they run off and they come back, and it's just like pans over, and it's Millennium Falcon. You're like perfect, like just absolutely nailed it, absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, it was awesome. And yeah, I mean that's really all I could really say about the movie. With the time frame we have. I did the whole like Death Star 3.0 or whatever. I mean that was kind of annoying with Starkiller, but whatever. I mean I think that's been already said. I think everyone's already said what needs to be said about that. It was clearly just them trying to, harken back to the A New Hope kind of era and stuff. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I can't wait for Episode 8. I know Rogue One comes out this year, which I'm kind of very lukewarm about. I do plan on seeing it, but I'm honestly not a whole lot excited. Granted, I know nothing about the movie, but I'm not really that excited. I am very excited about next year's Episode 8, though. Like, I hope we get a
Yeah.
teaser, like, in the middle of the year or something to, hold us over. I know they're filming right now. They started filming sometime in January. They're going to start filming. So yeah, and I guess that's really all I have to say.
Yeah, they've done well. They've set the next generation of Star Wars up very well. There was a lot of pressure on this film. I think Abrams
Yeah.
must have a lot of sleepless nights, regardless of what he thought of his films, because I think this is one of the most highest expectations on anything in a long, long, long time. Probably the next one would be Batman v Superman, but it's kind of like there was so much momentum built behind it. The acquisition from Disney, kind of like what the future of Star Wars was. They kind of already had 8 and 9 planned, and all these kind of anthology movies in place even before 7 came out. And it was going to be a huge domestic success and also foreign success. But it kind of like shows how much like Star Wars has appealed to both the past, present, and future of different generations. Like it's just going to be this film that keeps going now.
Yeah.
And kudos to them for it. A very good film, nonetheless. Like very good.
Yeah, I mean, they must be happy, too, that they've made, like $3.5 billion at this point.
If they want to invest in this podcast, we're willing to make our podcast into the next... we can spread a Death Star propaganda from here.
Loose lips sink starships, Adnan. We gotta be careful of what...
And that's the news for the week. Die resistance fighters, die.
But yeah, I think on that note, we'll go ahead and close out. So that's it for this installment of Gamer Headlines of Spoilercast, guys. For up-to-date episodes from Spoilercast, be sure to follow our other podcast, the Gamer Headlines Show, on Twitter at TGH Show, and be sure to like our Facebook page, which is called the Gamer Headlines Show. Also, Gamer Headlines of Spoilercast can be found on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and of course right here at GamerHeadlines.com. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hopefully in the real near future we'll be back with... I don't know what our next episode is. It's kind of like up in the air, but we'll see you guys in the future whenever we have one.
See you later, guys.